Mitchell, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon to chat with us about your darts and your sport. And you've been with Cass and Friends for a few years now, so it's been really nice to follow your progress and to see how well you've done. You've been off to World Championships, and I'm sure you'll be able to tell us a bit more about that in the interview. But tell us, God, darts, it's a really, really difficult game, as you can vouch for when you saw me play in the pub that evening or that afternoon when we met up. So how did you become so good at it? Because as far as I could tell, it was incredibly hard.
It's just because I've been playing for about 15 years now. It's hard to believe, but it's just long practice. Just keep, even when it doesn't go right for you, just keep on practicing at it, and eventually it comes quite good.
Yeah. So 15 years later, you've definitely put in your 10,000 hours, haven't you?
Absolutely.
I think they say that's what you need to do to become really proficient at something.
Yeah. It's definitely a long road.
Yeah. You can't just go from, just trying something to be to World Championships. You've got to put all the effort in before you get to that stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it does require a little bit of natural skill, but the hard work definitely makes you the best you can be.
Yeah. And talking of natural skill, I know, or you maybe some talent, you might have inherited a bit of that from your mum. Tell me a little bit about who's influenced you with your darts career so far.
Definitely my mum, 100%, because I remember her telling me that she used to play, and then when I was born, she sort of gave it up. So I thought I'd carry that on, hopefully, and do the best.
Yeah. And you both go off and play together, don't you? And you play at the same club. And
Yeah, and that's nice to know that your family are like supporting you as well and what you're doing.
yes. So during lockdown, are you having some friendly rivalry with your mum and practicing at the moment?
Yeah, we're playing pretty much every day, and I've got a few friends online as well that I've been playing with, practicing, keeping my skills up.
Great. So I said that, has your mum beaten you yet? And you said she hasn't beaten you yet.
Not really, no.
Cool, excellent. So how many hours do you normally train for, or play for, practice for in a week?
At the moment, because there's not really much coming up, it's a couple of hours every day or every few days, just to keep sharp. And then once an event comes up, it'll increase.
Yeah, it's still a long time to train for every day, isn't it? Consistently, but I think being consistent in whatever you do is the way to, keep good and to retain the skills.
Yeah.
Stopping and starting, it's really important to be consistent, isn't it?
Yeah, especially when it's so mechanical. Darts is like you're trying to do the same thing every time, and if you're not consistent with it, it can ruin the whole game, really.
Yeah. And tell us about the tournaments. Which tournament has been the best tournament for you? And tell us a bit about qualifying for the World Championships.
The best tournaments. Well, 2020 last year was probably the best start to a year I've ever had.
Oh.
And then it sort of all got cancelled because of the climate. Yeah, so I got to 2 tour finals on the JDC, and then I made 2 semi-finals as well. So that was a good achievement. So
Yeah.
that really, it boosted my confidence a lot to know that I was good enough to be up there with some of the best juniors in the UK and the world, really.
Wow, yeah.
And then the year before, I qualified for the World Championships, as you said, and that was just a huge experience for me because that was my second year. So I wanted to improve on the previous year. Sadly, I didn't do that, but it's still a really good experience.
Yeah. So you've been to 2 World Championships. You've then were on course to qualify again, probably last year.
Yeah, last year would have been. I was up there for the scholarship for this that I would have got this year, and I would have been in England potentially as well.
Wow. Oh, so and now you're in the you turn 18 in March, so you're then going to be into the sort of men's series, the the PDC rather than the JDC. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It's just basically the follow-on from, not directly, but indirectly the follow-on from the JDC.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed you get to compete again as soon as possible.
Yeah,
And
hopefully.
get in some prize money, because the great thing about your sport, in fact, it's funny, the two sports that we support, the darts and the fishing, and you know Callum, who we support, your two
Yeah.
sports are the two that actually allow you to win prize money as juniors. So
Yeah, it's a good incentive at times.
definitely. Oh, so tell us, a big part of the game is keeping focused, I would imagine, under the high pressure. How do you keep focused in a match or tournament?
I prefer the pressure, to be honest. It helps me perform better.
Right.
So I just kind of try and forget that anyone's watching and just do what I normally do in my room at home.
So you don't let the nerves get to you. You kind of.
No, if anything, I prefer to be nervous because
Yeah.
it shows that you care about what you're doing
Yeah.
and that you'll perform better, I think, in some
Yeah.
instances.
Interesting. Yeah. So some people, it really heightens that little bit of anxiety, really heightens their performance, and sounds like you're one of those people.
Yeah, 100%.
Brilliant. And what about the skills? What do you think are the sort of 3 top skills that somebody being a fantastic darts player has to master? And how did you go about mastering those skills?
The 3 top skills, I'd say maths is top priority
Yeah.
because it's all about quick addition, quick subtraction.
Yeah.
Learning the finishing. So when you're ending a certain leg or a game, it's knowing what to do quickly. So it's all very, very quick in darts.
Yes.
And then the final one would probably be just the consistency,
Right.
keeping straight and trying to hit what you're going for as many times as possible.
Not hitting the wall then, like I did.
No, definitely not hitting the wall.
Excellent. And what about your role model or hero? Who do you think is in your eyes, who is the best player with these skills that you've identified? Who would you like to aspire to be?
The obvious ones are like Phil Taylor, who's probably the most successful darts player of all time. But I prefer to look at like Dave Chisnall, who's my favourite dart player.
Okay.
And I look at him and I'm just thinking he's so good with his scoring and so consistent.
Right.
And then under pressure he performs really well. So that just inspires me to be as good as he can be.
Yeah, brilliant. Oh, well, Mitchell, thank you so much for sharing all that with us. Have a fantastic birthday, 18 in March. I can't remember the date. What's the date of your birthday?
18th of March.
Oh, fantastic. Well, might not be a massive party, but I'm sure you'll have a good day, whatever you get up to.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Thanks a lot.